So hi, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you've chosen to be with us tonight and spend your evening here. Tonight we're going to learn how to make a couple of roller blends that will help lift you right out of any winter funk you might be feeling right now. And in the same time, it's going to make you feel amazing. It's going to make you smell even more amazing. Then we'll jump into some proven methods that will target both the physical as well as the emotional aspects of the winter blues. And as always, we hope that if you have any questions, you'll feel free to ask them. You can even type them into the chat bar if you don't want to break up a conversation and you don't want to forget it at the same time, like I often do. So let's get started. We are going to start some slides, and that will take us into our make and take.
So just a quick question. How many of you have your oils ready to make something tonight? Is there anybody here that does? Rose, okay, you do. Anyone else? Linda? No, okay, so a couple of you. Okay, so
Leah does too. She's ready.
who does?
Leah.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect.
And
Well, it's
Jerry's
gonna be
here, but I
easy.
can't see her. Yeah.
It's going to be easy to remember these two, and if you screenshot the screen, you'll be able to remember the blends, and I think they're pretty hard to forget, really.
Yeah.
So.
And they're two staples. And you guys, we've got a lot of wonderful emotional oils that are uplifting. As a matter of fact, is there anybody that could share one that they're using now that they really like to lift themselves out of a funk?
Well, I love Motivate. That's one of my favorites.
Motivate. Yeah, it's a good one. It really is.
Yep.
Mine is Adaptive and Balance.
Perfect.
Adaptive and balance.
And they do exactly what they say.
That's awesome.
Adapt and balanced.
Cheer is another good one this
Yes, I like
year.
Cheer's awesome. You know what I've been mixing is Cheer and In Tune together.
Oh,
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because sometimes In Tune is a little bit like too earthy for me. So just adding a little Cheer just kind of, just cools it off. It's a nice combo. How about you, Laura? Is there any particular oil that you like?
I like favorite combo, bergamot, grapefruit, arborvitae, and arise.
Ooh,
I could just huff on that all the time.
that's a good one.
We have a similar nasal palate, or whatever the heck you would call it. I love all of those.
Lori, would you do me a favor and would you post that combo in the chat when you get a chance?
Okay.
Because I've got to try that one. It's
Hear
so.
what she said.
Yeah.
Lori, you want to say it again?
Yeah, it's bergamot,
Grapefruit, arborvitae.
arborvitae, and arise.
Rise.
And you can, I forget how many drops. I just kind of put it in until I like the smell on each one. But you can get too much to the idea.
Yes.
You have to kind of just do a couple of that one and more of the rest.
Absolutely.
And
So-
what do you use it for exactly?
I just
You use it for
I just love the smell of it. I put it on my bracelets, on my beads. I just put it on. I smell it. I have it in a roller. It's just a favorite combo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's not really, I don't know if it's any of the uplifting oils. It just uplifts me.
Good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, bergamot is definitely an uplift.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about a couple of those in a minute.
Absolutely. So, well, let's get started with our first blend. And so if you've got your bottle and now again, I love what Lori brought up is that she kind of just blends them to, oh, can you go to the back one? There's the first one, you skipped the first one.
that's all I've got.
Oh, I had two slides.
I just have one from you.
Oh, Okay, well then the other one, all right, well, I created a whole nother slide. There was 2 slides identical. Okay. I wonder where that went.
It went into the ethers.
Oh,
I love this one though. I love the brain tingle.
Look at how cute that is.
I know, but now I don't have the properties. I had all the properties on the other slide done. I worked on it all morning. Okay.
I did the same thing, Kimberly, last night, and I think maybe I downloaded it to my account. So I don't know. I have a slide I have to find too. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
guess I'll have to skip all that other, but anyway, the point, what I was bringing up is that playing with oils is fun, and don't let it, kind of threaten you or feel nervous about it, because you can make no mistakes. And what Lori mentioned was she plays with it until she kind of gets the aroma that she likes. So, like if you like a little more bergamot, so you play with it, you pour a few drops of each oil in the bottle and you go, I think it needs more bergamot, or I think it needs more grapefruit, whatever. Add a couple more drops until you get it to that perfect aroma that you like. And so some of the oils are very, very strong, and Arbor Vitae is one of those. You don't need many drops of that. Patchouli is another one that's very strong. There's a whole section in the books in Essential Life about blending oils. And so it's really a kind of a great little thing to learn. We're not going into that tonight, but so Frankie Wow is one of my favorites. And as you can see, it's one of my grandson's favorites. He loves the diffuser, and he just would pick it up and smell it. And he's just like, he loves it. And that's what was in there, is the Frankie Wow. So I put it in a roller ball. So I have a 10 mil roller ball of it. And so there's emotional components to the oil. I know you guys have looked in your books or on the app for the physical components. And, so you'd use frankincense, perhaps if you had head tension, or maybe some scarring or something on your face, or, there's so many different things. If you have arthritis, there's so many different things you use frankincense, but there's also an emotional component to each oil. And I'm going to hold up this book for a second. Oh, if you guys can see it. And it's a wonderful book. It's called Emotions and Essential Oils. You see that?
Yeah.
It's an essential oils. It's a great book. And there's different versions. This is the most recent, I think, or this is the 7th edition. So each year when doTERRA comes out with new oils, they come out with a new edition. But it's really cool. So you can look up the oil that you're having. Let's say you're just craving a particular oil. We've all had those moments where for some reason I can't get enough of a particular oil, right? So you can look it up in there, and it tells you the emotion that it is hitting. And bergamot is one of those oils for me. Bergamot just always I just love it. But we're going to go over these 3 that are in Frankie Wow. And so frankincense, in the emotional sense, is the oil of truth. Mm-hmm. And it's a great oil to use if you're feeling abandoned, feeling kind of spiritually disconnected, unprotected, maybe just out of alignment and not grounded. Frankincense is a wonderful oil for that. So that's, so there you go. Put about maybe 10 drops of frankincense into if you have a 10 ml bottle. And then we move on to wild orange. And we all know wild orange is uplifting, and it's also cleansing, and it's calming all at the same time. Wild orange is the oil of abundance. And so it can really help us support those feelings that we might, when we're feeling feelings of scarcity or just discouraged, maybe envious, dullness in our life, just kind of, same old, right? Or lack of energy. Wild orange lifts us up. So those 2, frankincense and wild orange, you see how well they work together, right? So the oil of abundance, the oil of truth. And then the last one is peppermint. And peppermint is the oil of a buoyant heart. And so it helps support us in pain, both physical and emotional, because we know that peppermint is great if you've got, sore shoulders or any sort of pain. Peppermint kind of just helps that tingle and cool things down, and it helps us with the physical pain. It also helps with the emotional, helps lift us. So helps support pessimistic feelings, sadness, and despair. So those 3 oils, I usually do start with equal portions of them and then see how you want to change it. You might want a little more frankincense, which just makes it a little more grounding. For my son, I used to make this all the time when he was driving from Lake Tahoe to Lovelock, Nevada to go work on this job. And he would stay there for 3 days, but he had to get up so early in the morning and drive. And he said, Mom, I would have fallen asleep at the wheel if I didn't have my Frankie Wow. Seriously, I made him a roller ball and he would just roll it all over his, what do you call these? Your temples, your forehead, your neck. And then he would just huff it, just smell it while he was driving, and it would just wake him up. And he'd feel the tingling sensation on his neck, and it just made him feel so good. And it's a great one to wake up to too. If you have a hard time waking up in the morning, it kind of wakes you up, and it's really delightful. So Frankie Wow kind of makes your brain tingle. It's great for staying awake on the road, so many different things. So there you go. So if you have your Emotions and Essentials Oils book, I encourage you to read it. So we'll move on to our next wonderful, oh, by the way, also putting fractionated coconut oil, you guys, I forgot that. So I usually do equal parts, and then I fill the rest of the bottle with the fractionated coconut oil. All right. And then
Has anybody tried that sensitive skin oil blend that we have?
I did buy it and I've used it a couple of times, but I didn't find that it actually was the best blend for me. I don't remember what's in it. Let me go get it.
I've used it, and I prefer fractionated coconut oil just because of the feeling, because I used it on my face, but it was very moisturizing. It does have different ingredients in it, and she'll read them to us. So it was gentle on my skin, and it wasn't as thick as fractionated coconut oil.
And I think Julie Muhilly prefers the sensitive skin blend. She's got some sensitivities with our oils, so she can use them on the bottoms of her feet and on her hands. But she actually told me that she liked that. So
cool.
Good.
different strokes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a few more people. Yes.
Formulated to soothe and calm dry, distressed, and inflamed skin. Sensitive skincare oil blend is lightweight, non-greasy, and gentle. This restorative blend helps nourish and condition skin while locking in moisture. Sorry. Grapeseed oil. Some other seed oil, I don't know. Rose something seed oil. Hemp seed oil and topical, well, I don't know what that is. Seed oil. Oh, and sunflower seed oil. But actually it didn't, I don't think my skin actually liked it, and I just tried it one time. So I don't know.
It's
There you
lighter.
are.
Yeah.
It's a lighter oil, so it feels like you don't have as much on. But I liked it for my face, but I prefer fractionated coconut oil because it's so dry here in Nevada and it's very moisturizing. But I know some people who prefer the lighter feeling, and I don't mind the heavy coconut oil, the fractionated coconut oil. But I'm super dry, Thanks for reading that, Linda.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't do a better job, but anyway.
That's okay. You did good. Linda.
We see it.
There
You
was
did good.
words I couldn't pronounce in there.
That's okay.
So we're going to move on and talk about my fave. This is the oil that I have affectionately named Badass Blend because it makes me feel like a, come on, everybody.
Badass.
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 So you simply take your roller bottle, you take your bergamot and your balance oils, and I put about 15 drops of each of these 2 oils into my roller bottle. I top it off with the fractionated coconut oil or the sensitive skin oil, whichever you would prefer. And I sometimes, now this is where Lori and I are so similar. I sometimes add a couple of drops of arbor vitae into my blend, or I would add some green mandarin into my blend, which is a really nice, really perky, uplifting, gives kind of a more of a tang to it. Or I can put grapefruit in. It just really adding any citrus and any other grounding oil is going to help with the benefits of this particular blend. And I'll tell you, if we have a slide, Wendy, this one. There we go. So the emotional components of this blend: uplifting, assuring, restoring, stabilizing, and centering. So really, the Badass blend, it relieves your feelings of despair, self-judgment, low self-esteem, and it really invites one to see life with more optimism. So who couldn't use a little bit more optimism during these winter blues moments? Bergamot specifically is the oil of self-acceptance. So we're talking a little bit about the emotional qualities here. It cleanses your limiting beliefs. It's a cleansing oil also like wild orange we talked about earlier, but it cleanses your limiting belief systems. It promotes hope. It instills confidence and self-love. And then Balance Blend is primarily a combination of true and oil, which ground and stabilize one to feel connected and really gives you a feeling of inner strength. So this is truly my favorite of all time essential oil blends. I use it on a daily basis. I didn't make another one tonight while we were talking because I seriously already have about 5 of them already made up. I have one in my purse. This is like my Correct-X that we talked about last week. It's my other everywhere I go kind of blend. I keep it in my car because my husband, we were talking about driving with Kimberly's blend, keeping the people awake, but sometimes my husband gets a little aggravated on trips because of the traffic and the tension that you get from driving and that stress. And so it really grounds him while it wakes him up. It restores him, it centers him, and makes him not quite the crank. So that's really where he uses it the most, but it's just a lovely perfume. This is my go-to perfume blend as well as emotional. It just makes me smell it, and everywhere I people smell it and want to know what the heck I've got on. So that's the blend I chose to do tonight.
And it is a favorite, you guys. I wear it around my neck in my little roller ball. So it's right there. So I just roll it on all the time, the Badass blend. And bergamot is magical. It really is magical for lifting your moods. Thanks, Kath.
I also learned really quick, I was watching the show that Wendy and I were talking about the other day that Samin does. And she was talking about acid on one of the shows, and they were using a sour orange in Mexico to flavor a lot of their food. And the bergamot is a cousin of that sour orange. So they use it all over the place as a vinegar substitute, which I just found kind of interesting. So if you added it into, say, a really light oil and vinaigrette type of a situation, maybe do a little wine, champagne vinegar, and add a little bergamot in, it might be a really nice try. So.
Cool.
Anyway.
Awesome.
Kathy, could you repeat what's in that?
The Badass, it's just 15 drops of bergamot, 15 drops of balance, and then I top it off with fractionated coconut oil. And you can
Okay.
add a little more, like Kimberly was saying, play with it. There's really no hard and fast rules. That just happens to be what I use because a little bit does go a long way. The oils are pretty potent, but you could certainly add more if you wanted to.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to show you guys that I like to use, there's at Walmart, you can buy a little label maker. And because I keep having all these problems where I make something and I can't remember, I just used a little label maker while we were talking, super easy. And then I put the stickers that doTERRA has in your back office. And sorry. Anyway, that way, otherwise I have stuff all over. I have no idea what it is. I smell it and I like it, and that bugs me. So that's just an easy way. You don't have to have the label maker, but it's
Good
That's
idea.
already
great.
made and ready to go. And it took
That's
me a
great.
minute. So
Yeah,
That's
I do
great.
that too. It's helpful because I put stuff together all the time and I can't remember exactly. It's like, what did I put in this again? So those little stickers are so great.
you have to put tape over it
Yeah,
because they fall
Me
off
too.
because of the oil, or you can write it with a sticky note and then just tape it on there. You don't have to have a label maker, but I'm weird. I like that stuff.
the tape is a good idea though, because I've had a couple of my stickies fall off and it's like, oh my gosh, one of them fell off. I can't remember what that last oil was I put in. So great idea.
If you love it, you can use box tape, but it'll last a long time. So
That's what I do. Yeah.
yeah, because I make the same ones over and over again, but I have
Yeah.
like 10. I don't know what's in them, but they smell good.
I love it. Awesome. Okay,
Okay.
moving on.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the Mind and Mood Kit. And I'm super excited, but I kind of wanted to show everybody what it comes in. It comes in a little bag. doTERRA is, they make everything very intuitive. So it comes in a little bag, the Mind and Mood Kit. And we're going to kind of go over what's in it, Wendy and I. And how many of you have gotten the Mind and Mood Kit?
Nope.
Yeah. It's what I like about it is that even if you didn't have the internet or you're on vacation, you can take it with you and all the instructions are in it. You can actually take and take a picture of the QR code. Everyone used to wonder what that was, but now you can actually take and do that in restaurants. It's super easy. And then you get all the information you need. It tells you how to use it. And that's what I love about these kits is that as you purchase this, doTERRA tells you how to put each one on. Everything that's in it, they explain to you how to use it. So you can even take a picture of this with your phone and then travel with the bag. So very easy to use. I apologize. I worked on slides, but I only had one that disappeared, but I don't have them. So I'm just going to talk to you. In the things I want to highlight for you are the ingredients in the Mind and Mood kits. And I don't know if that's on. Yeah, so Wendy forwarded it. In the first kit, you get adaptive capsules and doTERRA Balance Grounding Blend, which is what we just talked about in Kathy's blend. The Adaptive Touch Oil, which is already pre-diluted in a little roller bottle for you. And then you get a gift. It's something that you can't purchase otherwise, I believe. Am I correct, Kimberly? It's a mini natural deodorant with doTERRA Balance. Yeah.
I'm
And so
muted. Sorry.
yeah, a lot of the products that come in these kits are not purchasable by themselves. And a lot of times, for example, in kit number 3, you get a mini body butter, and that one is for purchase, but it's sold out. So you only get it in the kit. So doTERRA offers a lot of different prizes, if you will, for committing to a wellness program. And one of my favorite oils in here is the adaptive. Kimberly was talking about the emotions, and I dropped my phone, sorry. I have the app that Kimberly has. And one of the best things about adaptive is that it has a lot of stuff in it, but I'll tell you the science from doTERRA is really beautiful. And you don't even have to know what it means, but there's neurotransmitters that promote relaxation. And that's what adaptive does. And they call it the brakes of the brain. like when your mind is just running, and you're worried. Right before this class, I talked to Wendy because I couldn't find my slides, and I was watching my granddaughter, and I was running late, and I was like, I went and I put adaptive on, and I told Kimberly that I think I need to take the capsule. She's like, you really should. So one of the things that it does, though, is that it helps excessive activity. So when you're stressed and when you're fighting viruses and colds and flus, it helps reduce mental and physical strain. How many of us need that right now? You know,
All the time.
exactly. Exactly. And then it also has something, and you were talking about not being able to pronounce it. It's okay. There's something called a high flower seed. And when it's pressed, it produces an oil in the adaptive capsules. This is why I need to take the capsules, which I have. It has a higher quality of omegas than any other seed oil.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? And it comes from
It
a
is.
flower. So
What?
it only produces 4 seeds. So they're very precious and coveted. And there's a lot of clinical research on that. So
Which flower?
it's called I'm going to spell it AHIFLOWER, a high flower seeds.
Okay.
Excuse me, Carrie, can I ask you to talk about the subscription program for the Mind and
Yes,
Mood
and I'm
Wellness?
sorry. Thank you for keeping me on track. What happens is when you sign up, that was a slide that's gone. I apologize. All you have to do is sign up at doTERRA. What you're doing is you're getting a monthly kit for 3 months. It's $75 wholesale and $100 retail. You can cancel at any time. And what it does is it'll automatically ship you the products that are in these kits. And that's what Wendy and I were going to talk about. And I was highlighting the gifts, which is the bath salts, which are not available to purchase. And I apologize, I don't have a picture of it here, but let me just read to you. I already read to you what's in the first kit. I'll tell you what's in the second one. The second kit has adaptive calming blend, a 15 ml bottle, wild orange, 15 ml bottle, doTERRA lavender touch pre-diluted, black spruce, the 5 ml, and the bath salts. And in the third kit, you get lavender, cedarwood, adaptive spray, doTERRA serenity spray, and then citrus bliss, which is, that's one of my favorite. I love citrus bliss, very uplifting, and it just makes you want to go out in a field with flowers. That's what it feels like. You get a mini vacation. And then balance touch, which is the pre-diluted balance and the roller ball, and then the mini butter. The butter lotion is very moisturizing. It's smaller, and that is something that you can purchase on the website, but you cannot purchase the mini one. It's like the gift with the purchase kind of a thing. Go ahead.
Gary, I was just going to say, and isn't the balance, you can't buy the balance touch either, can you?
No, I don't believe so.
That's also a special thing. You can buy the balance only in the 15 mil. So they've put it in a roller ball here, which is really nice that you can't just order on your own. So with these minor kits, you get a couple little things that you can't buy regularly. And so each month you get to look forward to getting this little fun package to put in that cute little pouch that you got the first month.
Yes. That's really it. Go ahead, Wendy.
Okay, so I'm going to just talk to you for a little bit about more of the specifics about the adaptive products. And I have, given myself 3 or 4 minutes to talk to you about the functioning of the brain. So, and I'm no expert, but I do love learning about how the brain works. And there are thousands of chemical reactions that are happening just as you sit here. And your brain is constantly trying to bring you to a place of balance, a place of homeostasis. And with all of the stressors that you have in your life, some of them you are easy to recognize, like Kathy's husband driving, you might get a little annoyed, but other stressors like processed foods and chemicals that are toxic in your cleaning supplies. Like all of these things add stress to your body, whether or not you're consciously thinking about it. And so again, your brain is trying to negotiate the best way for you to stay calm. And I was going to ask you if you felt like you knew what some of the conditions of chronic stress are. Do you want to go ahead and tell me what you think some of those conditions are? Like, how do you recognize if you're dealing with chronic stress? How do you know?
Sleep.
Sleep, yeah, that's a really good one. Anybody else?
I
Hair
get very
loss.
emotional.
Emotional, yeah.
I lose my hair.
Lose your hair. That's very
Oh,
interesting.
mercy.
Yeah, so anxiety and depression, but even digestive issues can be indicative of too much physical and emotional stress on your body. Your memory, I mean, how many of us just get so scattered you can't even think straight, right? And so that's a good indicator that your brain is having a hard time just keeping up with itself. Sorry, I'm just gonna bring this back. There we go. Okay, so let me go on. The adaptive capsules have really been one of my favorite doTERRA products, and it's one of the things that I feel very comfortable recommending to other people when I'm recognizing that they are having a time of emotional upset. My mother's husband passed away a year ago, September, and when I came to be with her at the end of his life, she was really having a hard time, as you can imagine. And I'm sorry for some of us that have already gone through that. Losing your spouse is just one of the hardest things you can go through. And she was having a really hard time organizing her thoughts, and she was very scattered, and she was doing 10 things at once, but not doing anything well. So I asked her if she would try an adaptive capsule, and she really had a sense that she was collected and calm and was just a little bit more organized. Shh, Tinkerbell, go lay down. I have a dog that has a hurt leg, and so she's being really fussy tonight. Anyway, so I think that this is a really terrific product. How many of you have taken the adaptive capsules?
I have.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, every day. I keep my supplements in a little box. It's like a bead organizer. And so all of the supplements are in their own little category, and I can open that up and just ask myself, what do I need today? And the adaptive capsules are the things that make it into my little my little pill plate every day. One of the things that I find for myself is that it helps me teach better. So as I teach a melt method class or essential oil class or come onto a Zoom call with you, I just feel like my thoughts are a lot more organized. So the adaptive capsules have a product called GABA, which is, I think, something that Carrie talked to you about a few moments ago. And GABA is a naturally occurring amino acid. It acts as a neurotransmitter. And what it does is it calms the transmission of senses, of neural responses. So when you're feeling a sense of overwhelm, it helps to quiet and contain that nervous response. So it reduces fear, anxiety, and stress. The other benefit of the adaptive capsules is that it has a really interesting blend of essential oils: lavender, coriander, wild orange, and fennel, which all have a really high level of linalool. And those really help to access the parasympathetic system of the nervous system. The parasympathetic aspect of the nervous system is the restore system. And for some of us, I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before, but there are two aspects of the nervous system: the stress aspect, which manages your chemicals to help you deal with stress. And then there's the restore aspect of the nervous system that helps you digest your food, sleep, and heal your body. And what I find so fascinating about the nervous system, it's so efficient. You're either in stress mode or restore mode. You can't be in both modes at the same time. So with chronic levels of stress, your body does not digest well, it doesn't sleep well, and it doesn't heal well. So if you're recognizing that you're particularly sensitive and moody, if you're recognizing that you're having digestive issues, if you're recognizing that you're full of anxiety and fear and your memory is wonky, just recognize that that could be coming from levels of stress. And that I would encourage you to try the adaptive capsules. They really are wonderful. So another benefit of the adaptive capsules is it has a profound calming effect. There is a alkaline product called silicium, which is a ground cover native to South Africa. And the indigenous communities of South Africa had used silicium for eons to help calm them, to help give them clarity when they go into hunting or into a battle. And now it's being clinically studied for anxiety and depression. So on its own, it seems to be very beneficial to helping ease those negative emotions of stress. And here we have it in the adaptive capsule with GABA, with our essential oil blend. So it's a hugely calming product. And then just as Carrie said, there's an ahi flower that's in the adaptive capsules, and it is a bioavailable omega fatty acid that's coming from a plant. And this particular fatty acid has a beeline right into your bloodstream to benefit your healthy brain. And your brain is 60% fat, so it needs fat. It needs fat. And so this is a great way to get that. And for most of us, we don't take in enough omega-3 essential fatty acids. Think about some of the foods that you might eat, like, let's see, high in fatty acids, omega-3s would be like herring and sardines, and of course, salmon. Flax is another one. But we don't often, I think, consume enough of those foods. Years ago, I was studying to become a health coach, and I specifically remember hearing that you'd have to eat 7 pounds of lobster every day to get enough omega-3s into your body. So you really do have to supplement with omegas. The other thing that I find interesting about omegas is it's a great carrier to get your essential oils into your cells. So you could consider adding a little fraction of coconut oil or olive oil or whatever kind of oil you have at your fingertips into your capsules when you take these things internally. And certainly we use them to dilute them and put it on our skin. And that helps give it a little bit more landscape to cover. It's a little bit easier to get onto your skin, but it also covers a greater area, greater surface area of your skin. So you're taking it in over a greater area, and it slows down that rate of absorption and keeps the essential oils from evaporating off. So again, we've got these key benefits of the adaptive capsules that turn off stress, that have a profound calming effect and help you have a healthy brain. Like, who doesn't want a healthy brain, right? So I would encourage you to really try this. You can, of course, get it in the Mind and Mood 3-month subscription program, which is lovely. It's such a treat to get that every month and get products that are specific to your emotional well-being. Or you could purchase the adaptive capsules just on their own. When I take them, I usually just take one in the morning, and it seems like it does the trick for me all day. There have been times where I've been particularly stressed out, like when we were moving from Reno, and I would take it twice a day. I would take it in the morning, and then I would take it in the evening. I find that it relaxes me at night to go to sleep, but I've heard other people say it actually elevates their mood. So you have to pick and choose how it works for you, because everybody's different, right? Anybody have any questions or concerns about adaptive capsules? Okay, I'll go ahead and move on. So I remember Dr. Hill, I have this in my notes with quotes next to it, and he said there are clinical studies that show that essential oils have a profound effect to normalize the stress response. Stress is normal, it's a part of living. Stress is what gets me off the couch when I'm hungry. It helps me learn new things. It helps me sit here and talk to people that, you know, frankly, I don't know you all very well, but I have complete comfort in doing that. This is just a stressful moment that my particular brain is quite comfortable in dealing with, but it might be something that's a little out of your comfort zone. So we all have places where we're feeling stress and kind of buffers up against feeling more comfortable and relaxed. So there's this whole gamut, right? So essential oils can help de-stress stressful moments. We certainly know that already from our Badass Blend and our Frankie Wow. But I love the adaptive rollerball. You can take that with you when you're on the go. You can take the 15 ml bottle and you can put that in your diffuser and just sort of run it passively in your house in an easy way to manage your mood. But if you take a quick look at what the oils are that are in the adaptive blend, these are some of my all-time favorite oils. Magnolia. How many of you, some people don't like magnolia, but do you like magnolia? I just think it's lovely. I love it. Thanks, Carrie. I love it. Neroli. I just craved neroli. And lavender, of course, is in here. That's all things calming, right? You learn that in Essential Oils 101. Spearmint is an interesting choice, perhaps not one of my all-time favorites, but it gives it kind of a spa-like aroma. I think the spearmint's just so fresh and clean. And then wild orange being our happy oil. The rosemary, the oil of self-acceptance, and it's such a great oil all on its own. And then copaiba. Copaiba supercharges all of these other oils. It gives them a greater ability to access the cells in your body. So copaiba is wonderful. And Kimberly and I were talking about, like, just add copaiba to every blend you make should have copaiba in it. It smells wonderful, and it's sort of, please forgive me, but I feel like it rivals frankincense in its efficacy. It just does so many different things. When you look it up in your Essential Life book, it just takes up an entire page of top uses. It's really quite profound how many things it does for you. And I also wanted you to take a look at this awesome diffuser. Can you see that in the photograph? Like, I totally covet that diffuser. I found that on the Anthropology website and I had saved it. I just think it's kind of sexy. It really kind of turns me on. Anyway, so the adaptive capsules, the rollerball, and the 15 ml work together to help make stressful moments tolerable and more short-lived, so that you won't end up with that moodiness, digestive issues, the lack of ability to sleep, even physical pain is a result of too much stress in the body. Okay, so if you don't have any questions about that, I'll just go ahead and move on to what our promo is today. We've been talking about some of our essential oils, the citrus oils in particular, like grapefruit, wild orange, clementine, and tangerine. How awesome that doTERRA is gifting you 4 free essential oils this month when you purchase 200 PV on your LRP or standard order, or if you have somebody that's enrolling in doTERRA for the very first time. If their enrollment is 200 PV, they'll be given 4 free essential oils. And clementine is an oil that's not available in our catalog, so that's a pretty special gift to get. And I just have a few notes about what each of these oils do. Of course, we know that wild orange is your happy oil. The tangerine turns on your creativity. Clementine can ease anxiety and depression. And then grapefruit, interesting, quiets obsession with food, dieting, and a distorted self-image. And, you know, as somebody who works in the fitness business and helps people manage pain, this is one of the most heartbreaking things for me when I work with somebody that doesn't like their body. I just think that's just so tragic. And I understand where that might come from, but I want you to just kind of take a step back and just think about all the amazing systems that work underneath your conscious control to create the life that you have. And the exterior package is just that. It's just the package. It's what's on the inside that I just think is so innately valuable. Grapefruit essential oil can be used in a capsule. You can put it in a diffuser. You can add a couple of drops to water and just see if that doesn't give you permission to love your body.
Wendy, can I add something really quickly on grapefruit?
Please.
I learned a lot of people are told if they're on particular medication, and I believe it's blood pressure medication, that they shouldn't have grapefruit. And we learned at one of our conventions that this particular grapefruit is not made from the juice of the fruit. It's made from the skin, from the peel. And so it's not a problem to take with medication. It's not, the juice is where the problems come in. So feel free to use the grapefruit essential oil that doTERRA has, because it's safe and effective even with medication.
Yeah, that's so nice. What a shame when somebody's on a medication and they can't enjoy such a gorgeous citrus as in grapefruit. It's really nice to be able to have the option to enjoy the aroma and the taste of that grapefruit without interacting with your medications. And I just did, thanks for that, Kathy. And I just looked up in my Essential Emotions book, and grapefruit is known for honoring the body. Oh, I just love that. I love it. Okay, so let me just move this out of the way. We have our upcoming class is going to be on using essential oils to ease addictions. And addictions are classified as behaviors that have a negative impact on your body, on your spirit, on your emotional well-being. And so it could be, you know, it could be using your cell phone too frequently and interrupting the flow of conversation with your family. And certainly other addictions that we're most familiar with could be under the realm of drug addiction and alcohol. And I personally don't feel like I have a particular strength in this area, but I do help women manage binge eating, and that could also be considered an addiction. So we're looking forward to giving you some more information about how you can use your essential oils to ease addictions. And I also want to just preface that by saying that don't underestimate the power of a professional to help you get through a difficult time for that. Okay.
And I wanted to announce that I have somebody on my team who I adore and love. His name is Darby Schnacker, and he is clean and sober, and he uses the oils, and he is going to be our special guest on class. And he's going to talk about some of the oils that helped him when he was, struggling with letting go of some of his bad habits, and namely alcohol. And so he's going to join us and share something, which is great.
That's wonderful. And that's what we need, because I feel like as a collection of experts with essential oils and wellness, this is a little bit out, I think, of all of our comfort zones to talk about. So it's great to be able to have a guest speaker come in that's got some real life experiences. And I know Darby's story. It's very heartbreaking and profound and uplifting at the same time when you see the man that he's become. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Plus, I love him anyway. A little crush on Darby.
He's a sweetheart. So I'm excited he agreed.
Yeah. So that'll be in 2 weeks, by the way, and it'll be another Tuesday night class. Okay.
Perfect.
What is the date of our next class? Just off the top. I don't have my calendar in front of me, so
I can get that for us.
That'd be great.
Quickly.
You can get it on your calendars. And if you have anybody that you love that is struggling with, maybe they want to quit smoking cigarettes, or they want to quit chewing tobacco, or just any thing, maybe too much sugar, they don't, or too many carbs, any little thing like that. There's oils that can help with all of these different things. So invite them to join us, alcohol, anything.
So it's February 22nd.
Pain meds.
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know that this is such a safe space, and I want everybody to be cognizant of when people do share that this is a time where we connect with each other, but it's not like we want to go around and spread everybody else's issues. And so we will be very sensitive to people's privacy next time when we do have this class, just so everybody feels safe to talk about things, because we all have some sort of struggle. And I that's it.
Yes. Good point.
Thanks, Kathy.
Well, you guys, everybody, thank you so much for being here, and hope you got some great benefits from tonight. There's some wonderful products that can help us out of those, experiment, play, and use those oils. Huff those oils, girls. Huff them.
Yep. Pull yourself out of those blues.
Yeah,
right.
and
Does
try
anyone
those.
have any questions?
I was just going to add, just try those adaptive capsules. And I'd love to know what your personal experience is with them, how they make you feel. I just feel so centered when I take them.
Wendy, I had a crazy day and you heard me before this class. And so I took one while you guys were talking. I'm like, I don't care if it keeps me up. I need
Yeah.
it. So I'll let you know if it keeps me up or not.
Okay. Yeah, do. Please let us know. Okay. All
All right,
right.
ladies. Well, thank you all
Bye.
so much. I
Thank
hope you have a
you.
wonderful week.
Bye-bye.
Aloha.
See
Thank
you.
you.
Good night,
Bye.
all.
Bye, y'all.